Will Sasso sat down with Theo Von, and Theo Von asked him if he would ever do the 10-minute podcast again with Bryan, Callen, and Chris D'Elia. So I'm going to play what Will Sasso had to say about it. He has talked about this before on Lex Friedman, and but let's go ahead and see what he had to say about doing the podcast again with Bryan and Chris.
At the end of the show, it was first it was Bryan and Chris. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
What are they up to? And then there was Chad Callen did it with me, and our good buddy Tommy Blacha, the funniest man in the world. And Tommy and I, at least, were always like,
Did y'all ever think about starting it back up? Was there ever a conversation to?
Yeah, for a while, like a few years ago, Bryan and Chris were like, maybe we want to do this again? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then, I don't know, I think they're both living in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, they definitely hit some snags.
Everything's going to be fine. Look, be honest. Let's be very transparent. Get out ahead of any issues you may have had, or don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's hard to. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's all. That's
a good thing to say is I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
that's kind of their own journeys. Yeah, I mean, I think they've both been through it. They've both dealt with. I mean, different side. They've been through a lot of that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It sure is a lot.
A whole world of that is a lot.
Whenever I start to think about it, I immediately stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I go like, that's a lot. And,
yeah.
See, I'm stopping right now.
Yeah, same, man.
At the end of the show.
Okay, so that uncomfortable thing, because they know what they're talking about, and we know what they're talking about, but they're trying not to say what we're all talking about. So he's done doing that 10-minute podcast with them because, I mean, they've both been accused of what they've both been accused of. And you heard it right there from the horse's mouth when it comes to those accusations. He's just like, I don't know. And that I don't know means I'll never work with you again because I don't know. It wasn't, I know those guys and they would never know. I don't know. So we're never really going to work together again, ever again. And to be fair, I don't blame Will Sasso, but he did say they did try getting back with him to do that podcast. Now that podcast ended like 8 years ago. And they basically just stopped doing it, I think, because they just got busy doing other things. But, I mean, Bryan and Chris, trust me, would love to do that podcast and not have to work with that idiot Brendan Schaub on his failing podcast. But Will's not down to do it. And I love how Theo Von was like, yeah, they hit a few snags. Yeah, I think Theo Von is like, thank God I got rid of that, away from that whole crew. Will Sasso's like, I'm not going back with that crew. That whole crew is going down with everything they're accused of. Then you got the moron Brendan Schaub. And these two guys are just happy to be away from it and way more successful than them. And good for Will Sasso, but let me know your thoughts in the comments.